Okay. Pronto?
Yes. Buongiorno a tutti. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much to be here. I'm very surprised about the number of people, and I'm very happy about it. I'm very happy to be here today. I'm proud to show how Dallara manage his business, manage the empowerment of his people. And in a few minutes, I will show you our company. Just to introduce myself, I'm Francesco Ziveri, Operation Director of Dallara Group. And here with me, Giacomo.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm Giacomo, and I'm in charge of the talent acquisition process in Dallara.
Okay, let's go with the presentation. Prova. Okay. I want to start to present my company starting from the vision and the mission of Dallara Automotive, but I don't want to read the words that are written on the slide, but I want to start from the picture on the right, because two very important people of our company. On the right, Mr. Dallara, the youngest person that we have in our company, and for sure, the technical genius that started 50 years ago, to be more precise, 52 years ago, his own company. And on the left, Mr. Pontremoli, that is a complementary genius of the technical of Mr. Dallara. That is the management genius coming from his experience in IBM Europe. About the vision of our company, I want to say that Dallara takes from the environment, from the territory, and has the vision to give back more value to the environment and to the territory in terms of happiness of the people, in terms of investment, in terms of value to his supply chain, from the suppliers to the customer to all the stakeholders that Dallara can have. The mission is simpler than the vision. Design and produce the fastest and the safest car in the world. For sure, Mr. Dallara doesn't accept any derogation from the safety variable in our car. From the engineering to the production, any derogation is accepted into the safety of our car. And this is the fil rouge that we have in only phase of our engineering and production process. Our company, just some number to give you an idea of our company manages business. We are 800 people, and please consider that in the last 3 years, we increased the number of 200 people. So it's a very huge increase in a very short time. Turnover up to 170 millions last year. This year, we forecast to close up to 200 millions of euros. And from my point of view, the operational point of view, trust me, is very challenging to manage this increase of business. A number about the business, for sure, is a global business. We are talking about 90% of the business developed all over the world, both from the side of customer and both from the side of suppliers. We have suppliers all around the world, from Japan, from Australia, from US. So it is a very global market. Just to give you a vision about the business unit. We have 3 business units: racing and motorsport, automotive, and aerospace and defense. you can see that racing motorsport, that is the most historic in our company, cover a bigger slice of our turnover, about 70% of the turnover. Automotive, 25, probably in the next year, next 2 years, will achieve the target of 40%. And then the last, but not the least, aerospace and defense, that born during the pandemic period with the aim of diversify our customer portfolio that for the moment cover a very little slice of this cake, but we hope to increase this market. Just to give you another point of view about the sales, we are split it by business model, and you can see from this cake that Dallara is able to sell to the customer a different range of services and products, starting from only an engineering package, from engineering to testing, from engineering to prototype, and then a whole package from engineering to production series. So the OEM, the customer, can choose what he can buy from Dallara, from a single package to a whole package of services and product. How Dallara Group manage its business? It managed by these 5 companies, 4 that are located in Italy, 1 in US. To be more precise, the 2 are located in Varano de Melegari, Dallara Automobili and Fabbrica Dallara. Dallara Automobili is our headquarters, the center of the production and the center of engineering. Fabbrica Dallara is dedicated to the assembly line of our own product, that is Dallara Stradale. Then there is another company in Varano de Melegari that is Dallara Academy. It's an edutainment center, is dedicated to the education and the entertainment, and is the center of our classroom of the Modena University. We have another company in Italy, Dallara Compositi, specialized into the manufacture of composite structural parts. And then Dallara US, that is our commercial outpost for the US market, not only commercial outpost, but also a production center. I don't want to spend a lot of work into the map of our buildings. Just to give you some milestone about the history of the company. As I told you before, Mr. Dallara founded this company 50 years ago in the 1972, Dallara Automobili, starting with the racing business unit. And in the latest years of the 70s, produced the first F3 chassis. Consider that in the 80s, arrived 2 new improvements in terms of product and in terms of engineering. One is the first carbon fiber chassis, and the other is the first wind tunnel. In the last year of the 80s, Dallara produced his first F1 chassis for Scuderia Italia. And in the last year of the old millennium, Dallara achieved the first victory in Indianapolis with Eddie Cheever. And consider that after that year, the car on the grid for Indianapolis are made only by Dallara Automobili. And is still the same today, 25 years later. At the beginning of the new millennium, Dallara decided to start with a new business unit, Automotive. We are talking about the same product of racing, four-wheel car, but is very, very different in terms of production, in terms of process, Automotive from racing, and started his collaboration, partnership with Bugatti, starting with Bugatti Veyron, only for engineering, for Bugatti Veyron. Then in the next 15 years, the partnership increased with the engineering and production of the chassis of Bugatti Chiron. And now, today, Dallara has engineered and is producing the whole car of Bugatti Bolide. During the 20s, Dallara installed the first simulator, both in Italy, in Dallara Automobili, and both in Dallara US. Simulator that is another piece of the puzzle to complete the package that is able to sell to the customer. Is a digital model starting from the wind tunnel, aerodynamics, CFD, and then a simulation on the track, and you can simulate a lot of parameters of the car. In 2015, Dallara decided to open his research department, DARC, Dallara Advanced Research Center, that is specialized on the research of composite and metal materials, and decided to acquire Dallara Composite, that in the past was one of the suppliers of carbon parts, and decided to englobe in his supply chain. Established Dallara US, I told you before, our outpost for the US market. And in the 2017, Dallara ran into the market with his own product, Dallara Stradale, that is homologated for the street. And in 2021, make a develop of his product with Dallara EXP, Dallara Experience, that is the version without any limits, and is very huge. I don't know how to describe the sensation to drive this car on the track. During the pandemic, I told before, with the aim to diversify the portfolio, the customer portfolio, Dallara opened a new business unit, Aerospace and Defense. We are seeding a lot in this market, and we hope to increase the slice of turnover that they cover today. I told you about the three business units: racing, automotive, aerospace and defense. I don't want to give you my point of view, the operational point of view about the management of these three business units. Is very challenging because we are talking about three different, very different time horizon, because we are talking about short terms for racing and motorsport. We are talking about medium terms for automotive and long terms for aerospace and defense. We are talking about very different needs in terms of a product, in terms of process, and you have to change your mindset every day, during the day, when you manage racing, or you manage aerospace, or you manage automotive. For sure, it gives me a lot of white hair in the last years, but it's very challenging and gives me a lot of motivation every day to go to work. Dallara expertise. What are the Dallara expertise? Lightweight design and structural optimization, that is in charge of the DARC, Dallara Advanced Research Center. Every day we research for new carbon fiber, for new metals, for new process to manage this material in order to achieve this target. There is another expertise that I didn't tell before about the performance simulation that complete the package of data that we can give to the customer in parallel to the aerodynamic coming from wind tunnel and CFD, coming from lightweight design and structural optimization, that is the performance simulation. Performance simulation, we are talking about vehicle dynamics, about the passive and active cooling system. So we are able to complete all the package of data that we can give to the customer. Another is aerodynamics, but I spent a lot of word about it. Electronic architecture and development. For sure, this department born 4 or 5 years ago, because the electronic became a very important part of a bill of material of the car. Such like the composite part and like the mechanical parts. Electronic at the moment has the same importance of these two other categories. Production and assembly. And then another package of services that is indoor and full test, because before deliver the product to the customer, Dallara is able to test the product and then sell to the customer. Project and collaboration. Racing. Every weekend, all over the world, a car made in Dallara runs in a championship. The most famous one, Formula One. We have a collaboration with us, F1. Formula 2 and Formula 3 that use a single brand car made by Dallara. Formula E, the same, a single brand car made by Dallara. There are a lot of projects for US market, IndyCar, in the next generation, NASCAR, and the two new arrives the last 2 years, BMW and Cadillac for the endurance, LMDH, that runs also into the WEC championship for the endurance championship. Another championship in Japan, Super Formula, Dallara 320, and another project that we are very proud about it, that is LMH, developed with Ferrari. Last year we won the Le Mans race. And another very fun but interesting by the engineering point of view, that is autonomous challenging. Last weekend, we ran in Abu Dhabi with the autonomous car, and I think that it's not so fun by public point of view, but for sure from engineering, for the algorithm that guide the car is very, very interesting. Automotive, our product, on the left, Dallara Stradale, on the right, Dallara EXP. Some collaboration with automotive, with the most important customer all over the world, and a lot of these are located in our region. We are talking about Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche, Bugatti. The last one of Bugatti Bolide, Ferrari 499P Clienti, that coming from the race version that won in Le Mans. And some collaboration with the most important customer that we have for aerospace and defense. Due to confidence reason, we can publish any picture about the products, but as I told before, we are seeding a lot in this market. Dallara Academy is your matter. If you want to tell something about it.
Okay, so as I said before, I'm Giacomo, and today I want to tell you something about our Dallara Academy. The Dallara Academy was born in 2018, as Francesco said before, thanks to the will of the engineer Dallara, of Mr. Dallara, because he always wanted to create a space that will become a meeting point between his local community, his employees, so his corporate community, and more in general for all the motorsport enthusiasts. No? And so based on these premises, the Dallara Academy was born as an edutainment space. So with a double soul, a soul for education and a soul for entertainment. Talking about the educational side, we have two main activities that are carried out in the academy. One are the educational labs that are built for high school boys and girls that could come in the Dallara Academy and experience through experiments the forces and the materials that play a key role during races. So, for example, they could experience and learn something related to aerodynamics, something related to vehicle dynamics, and for example, how are made the composite materials and what are used for. Another very important thing that we do in the Dallara Academy is related to Muner. Muner is the Motor Vehicle University of Emilia-Romagna, and every year in the Dallara Academy we host 25 students enroll in the last year of the master degree in advanced automotive engineering. In particular, the students enroll in the racing car design curriculum, and these students have the opportunity to attend courses that are taught by, obviously, university professors, but also by some of our colleagues. And this is very important because it helps them to link the theoretical aspects brought by the universities and the more practical aspects brought by our colleagues. I believe that it's great because try to think a young engineer study in the morning in the classroom, maybe a suspension system, and then have the opportunity to see the same suspension system directly in the company. No? This is very great for me. Speaking of the second soul of our Dallara Academy, we have a very beautiful exhibition area that covers not only the history of the company, so not only the history of Dallara as a company, but also the beginnings of the history of Mr. Giampaolo Dallara. I said so because actually the first car in the exhibition area, it is not a Dallara, but it is a Lamborghini Miura, which is the first major project in which the engineer was involved. I think that another interesting things about the exhibition area is that it allows you to not only see the technological advancements in the production of racing cars, okay, but it helps you to understand the advancements related to the safety of the driver, which, as Francesco said before, is a very important aspect for Mr. Giampaolo Dallara, and it is in our mission, no? So design and produce not only the fastest cars in the world, but also the safest. Finally, obviously, Dallara is a place to host events that will be both private and public events. I believe that one of the most interesting events that we host are those that we do during the Indianapolis 500 miles or 24 hours of Le Mans, where you could come and join us, spend the day together, see and enjoy a good race, and have the opportunity to experience a little bit of motorsport passion. Well, I think that we tell pretty everything about our company. So thank you for your attention. And if you have not already done so, I invite you to come and visit us. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. I don't know if you have any question. Please feel free to make it.
Okay, you have two ways to do your application. One is through our website, and one is through LinkedIn. Okay, we don't have rolling positions because we don't believe that this is a very good way to hire people. No, starting from the internship is for us a very important thing in Dallara because we spend a lot of time training you. We invest time in training you, in teaching you some important aspects of our job. And so we look internships as a way to enter in the world of Dallara. Okay.
You're a talent acquisition specialist. What are the most useful hard skills a talent acquisition specialist has to have in Dallara?
Okay. It's a tough question to answer because I think that Dallara is a special place to do talent acquisition because we work in a niche. No, we produce race car for all over the world, and I believe that obviously you have to have a good grade of hard skills, but what matters is the alignment with the values of the company. Okay, because in Dallara we often hire young people and then grow them up in the company. So when you are young, obviously there is a competencies aspect that you have to keep in mind, but it's better hire people that are aligned with the values because, as Francesco said, sometimes it's very tough, and so you need to be very passionate about motorsport. You have to be humble, to be curious, and to be loyal to the company. Loyal is not the right terms. You have to have integrity. There are other questions. Let's go.
I'm sorry, I'm a curious person. So once
This is one of the value.
Yes.
Curious.
So once a person has a master's degree, they can either apply right away at Dallara, they can get higher education, so un corso di master, or they can get work experience in another company. Which way should someone choose to be considered a valuable option for Dallara in a management or in an HR position?
I don't know. I believe that you need. I don't know how to answer it because if I see my experience, if I relate it to my experience before moving to Dallara, I was in a automotive company, but is mainly a commercial automotive company, no? And I wanted to see how cars are produced, no? And so this is my motivation to move in Dallara. I believe that that experience helped me to understand better the environment because it's automotive, and I have a strong passion for automotive. But I don't know my colleagues are coming from all different backgrounds.
Thank you again for taking the time to spend with us this morning. You mentioned that Dallara does have a focus on attracting youthful talent. That being said, some of us sitting here today are part of an MBA program and have up to 8 or 10 years of experience. Given that those opportunities are more limited, what sort of profile are you looking for, or what sort of experience would you be looking for someone who's further in their career?
Okay.
I think that is very diversified by area. It's very different. The profile that you look for, if you are trying to hire for technical area or for operational main area or for production, I don't know, but I think this is very diversified.
It depends also about about what the people that apply want to do. Okay, because maybe usually when you do an MBA, you want to change some aspects of your career. Maybe you are a technical one and then want to do some stuff linked to the more managerial side. No, it depends. Obviously, we are not a very huge company that have a lot of managerial role. So it depends. I'm sorry, but this is it.
So I've got two questions. The first one is, as an engineer, is a master's degree required or mandatory? And the second one is, as an engineer still, is it possible to get experience in more of only one department, as in I get in aerodynamics and then I change into structural design, something like that?
Okay. For some position, yes, the master degree is mandatory because we have departments that are very, very, very vertical in the technical aspects, like aerodynamics. Okay. Regarding your second question, the answer is yes, but it depends on your horizontal or on your horizon, okay? Because after 2 years in the company, we have job rotation programs, okay? So we open internal position that in which employees could apply and try to seek other opportunities in our company. So maybe someone coming from the technical or the engineering side could start a career in the operational side and so on. Okay, but if you seek for shorter terms of opportunities, we don't have a graduate program where you could see in the first 18 months 3 departments and so on. Okay.
Grazie.
Sorry to ask again, but this time a little bit more of a high-level question. Obviously, innovation is an essential part of the business model for Dallara. You guys are at the bleeding edge of many different technologies. As it relates to the operational management of innovation, how do you approach that, given that you are working across 3 unique business lines? basically?
Yeah, clear. It's very difficult to manage these 3 business units, this very different process, also because we are living a period where we have a lot of process innovation. I told you before, electronics that become a very important part of a car. And just to give you an example, in my area, the area of operation for the purchasing and procurement, I have to create an electronic category because I need to manage all the supplier that I have in this category that I haven't 4 or 5 years ago. I didn't have any idea of this supplier. So I have to scout, I have to evaluate the supplier, and I have to increase and grow with them our business. So is we have a lot of innovation in the production of composite materials because we worked in the past only with pre-preg technology, but now press molding or RTM process is very different. So in this case, I have to increase the knowledge of my guys into the planning for the make operation, but also in the buy operation, I have to increase the number of suppliers, the number of guys that manage this category. So we have to be ready for the innovation in Dallara, for sure, because we have assisted of a lot of this innovation and a lot of new products, because Autonomous Challenge, I told you before, is a new project, and we have to cover with guys that manage this project. So every 1-2 years, just to give you a very rough number, we have to change our structure in my office. So it's very challenging, but for sure, if you join Dallara, you join a very variable reality, from purchasing to production and also to engineering. So we start with new office, with new department, and I think every year this happens.
I have a little question, a bit different from engineering. But for example, for a question, legal question, for example, license, patent, brevet, you looking for a service outside of your company, or you have inside of your company an office specified for it? So a legal office. Or for example, even for another question, for your servers of defense. So you are working, I look, with the Ministry of Defense. So I suppose, obviously, with others. With this area, so you work with legal inside or outside of your company?
Okay, we have maybe also you could help me to answer this question, because we have a legal department where we have a young professional that guides the people in the company and try to put all this stuff in a good way, but is helped by an external consultancy firm. I don't know how to say.
Is a legal office, an external legal office.
External legal office. Obviously, our customers have another legal office, very often internal legal office. Okay, and so we work together to achieve the better way to manage these kind of issues. Okay.
Just to answer about the aerospace and defense question. Consider that for racing and for automotive, we work on our own product, so we can talk about patent, copyrights, and so on. It's not the same for aerospace and defense, because I showed you before some name of our customer, but we work on their project for the moment. So I don't know what can be happening in 5, 6 years, but for the moment we work on a customer project, so we don't have the same problem for this business unit, but our legal office for aerospace and defense works on the typical jobs as contracts or
non-disclosure agreements and so on.
My question is about internships. So is it possible to get an internship, for example, for a master thesis or something like that? And if it is available also for universities other than the Modena one? And what should a candidate do in order to get one, basically?
Okay. Yes, there are open positions for thesis projects. As I said before, we care a lot of the internship. We care a lot of the internship about the internships because they are a way to enter in the company. So we don't have a lot of internship position, but we open a position where when we have an interesting thesis project. Okay, and yes, we accept obviously also people coming from other universities, like not only Muna, not only Modena, but also Parma, all the university, also outside Italy. Okay, and we publish them in our website or through LinkedIn, and so you could apply through these two ways.
I have a question not related to engineering, but I wanted to ask if you have a side related to public relation and communication, and if yes, which positions do you have?
Yes, in our company there is a department of marketing and communication that does also the stuff related to public relation. It's not very huge because our product is mainly B2B. Okay, so the only product that there are three products that we sell directly to our customers that are Dallara Stradale, Dallara XP, and Zeta Bike, which is an end bike, and so we do not have a very huge department, but there are roles related to public relations. Actually, we don't have right now open position in that department.
Thank you.
Thanks. For Aerospace Department, you said it could be a grown sector of your company. What kind of professional figures are you seeking for this part of your company, of course?
Okay. Our aerodynamic department is divided in 3 main areas. There is an aerodynamic development area that is in charge of the development of a car, of a product to meet the performance target. Then we have 2 departments that works on the 2 instruments that we have in the company. So the CFD with a department that is called CFD methodology, And then we have also the experimental aerodynamics, the work to develop the wind tunnel. And so it depends, because there are people that are more interested in CFD, that are people that are more interested in experimental aerodynamics, and that are people that want to do only aerodynamic development. Actually, we are seeking people in the CFD area, and also, I believe, in the aerodynamic development area.
Okay, sorry, but it is not mandatory to have a strong automotive curricula for this kind of the department, or?
Allora, yes, it is mandatory, because it is not mandatory to have a strong automotive background, but it is mandatory to have a strong aerodynamic background, okay? Because the things that you could see in our aerodynamic department are very, 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 very deep. And so you have to have a deep knowledge of the physics related to aerodynamics field.
Okay, thanks.
How does the process, sorry for having a second question. How does the process of acquiring a new customer work, as in, for instance, in the aerospace industry?
Wow. I think I need 2 more hours to explain, but I try to answer. For sure, it's very different for racing and motorsport, because we have a very deep knowledge and deep into the market, into the product. So is very different. We hire a very special manager 4 years ago that guides the business unit of aerospace. He has a very huge experience in the market, because it comes from Italian aviation. So he has a knowledge of the market, of the customer, and he knows very well how to link with all departments all over the world. And his works is to sell to the customer that we can merge our knowledge in aerodynamics, CFD, composite parts, metal parts. We can merge the needs from aerospace with our knowledge in automotive and racing. Because what it changed into the aerospace and defense market, I told before, is the time to market is very longer than racing and motorsport and automotive, and the specification and the process requirements that aerospace require for his product. So we have to try to teach, excuse me for this word, but we have to teach to the customer that our knowledge is adapted for the aerospace market. It is a very quick and fast answer to your question, because it's very complicated and I need a lot of time to answer better.
Yes, actually, we have 3 business unit manager. Obviously, one for racing, one for automotive, and one for aerospace and defense, that are in charge to develop the business, to keep in touch with customers, try to find a way to acquire new customers, to develop our capabilities to be ready for acquiring new customers, and so on. And we have a BU manager for the aerospace and defense industry.
So, for example, the SpaceX, does Dallara go and pitch to SpaceX, or they have connections between the two companies to do projects?
No, for sure, have a place into US territory. Dallara US help us to join a lot of customer into the US market. Axiom, SpaceX, and others. And I don't know how it bores the collaboration with SpaceX. For sure, we made a very special part for the Crew Dragon. But for defense, aviation, aerospace, the US market require to have a supplier that comes from his territory, from US. So it's strategic to have a Dallara company into the US. I can't answer to you about how they born the collaboration with SpaceX, but for sure helps to have an outpost into the US territory.
Thank you.
Does Dallara Automobili have an internal design team, or does it outsource this process? Because I know that the Dallara Stradale has been developed in conjunction with Gran Studio Torino.
Okay.
So does anybody inside the Dallara Automobili help with designing the shape of their road legal cars?
But for sure, we have a design office composed by, I don't know the exact number, but
At least 130 people, at least.
Our expertise, our knowledge, for sure is focused on the structural optimization, on the aerodynamics. We don't have a special knowledge into the line design, aesthetic knowledge, and we have a lot of consultants coming from the external market.
Yes, actually, we have a colleague of us that work in the style department, but it works closely with an external style studio, okay, for the development of the Dallara Stradale.
For sure is not our core competency of the company.
We try to make it fast because fast cars are always beautiful.
Thank you.
Hi, I would like to know during your Dallara journey, what was the most important thing that you learned and experienced that you haven't done in your previous experience? Thank you.
Wow.
I start and then I leave Francesco answer. I think I'm very young in Dallara, no? I joined Dallara 2.5 years ago, and I believe that the most important things that I experienced during my journey in Dallara is working closely with people that made the history and are making the history of motorsport. So Dallara is a company where you have the opportunity to work with Mr. Gianpaolo Dallara, Mr. Aldo Costa, Mr. Pontremoli, but also Mr. Francesco, and so on. There are a lot of very, 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 very interesting people in Dallara, and so I believe that this is the most beautiful things to experience in Dallara. But I let Francesco answer it.
I agree with you, Giacomo, about the possibility to have Mr. Gianpaolo Dallara then sit near you during the day. My journey in Dallara started 15 years ago in Dallara Composite, and then I joined Dallara Automobili in Varano. And I don't know, I told you during the presentation that it's very challenging to merge this very different world, starting from racing and motorsport to aerospace and defense, manage a lot of different technologies, a lot of different suppliers, a lot of different peoples. So I think is the thing that gives me a lot of motivation every day, a lot of stress every day, because working in Dallara is very stressful, because the race is on Sunday, and on Sunday you have to put the car on the grid, is for sure this. So it gives you a lot of stress, but it gives you a lot of motivation. And I think that is the most important thing in my job.
Grazie a tutti.
Off.